All day. Yes, sir. Let's play for a full 40.
Out to Gibbs for a 28-foot three. That's good!
Gibbs is open again. He checked. That was 4 on 5.
What a night. I tell you what, I think that jump starts our offense.
Yes.
Like that looked like us.
Farrell goes top of the key, drives left side of the lane, double pumps, throws it up and in, and he gets fouled! Top of the key, Gibbs, the runner, off the box and in! He did it again! TJ Gibbs! For the second consecutive home game.
We're 1-1 on the back nine.
Yes, sir.
We're 1-1 on the back nine. We're just scratching these back nine out. Our goal is to get a 2-0 homestand and beat Florida State in here. And then let's see what everything's going on, right? That's what we're going to do.
Fluger for three, right side, knocks it down. That will do it. The Irish are back in the win column.
96, 85, Irish.
Hello again, Irish fans, and welcome to this week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Basketball with Coach Brey. I'm Jack Nolan, and Coach, against Boston College, I recognize that offense. You got back into the flow that you teach, and that enabled you to outscore a very offensively talented BC team.
Well, it sure has been a while, Jack, but it was nice to see, you know, our ability to score, 21 assists, only 5 turnovers. I think we had some more healthy offensive guys on the floor who could score. That certainly helped us.
Obviously, you needed it. You had lost 7 straight, but you may have needed it even more because the loss at NC State was the first time your team was never really in it.
Yeah, I was disappointed in our effort in the first half there. They jumped on us. Again, a really hard time scoring against North Carolina State. Matt Farrell kind of still getting back into a rhythm. End of the second half, we looked like ourselves offensively a little bit. And so that was the one I was disappointed about. Proud of how our guys rallied and took care of business at home in a much, much needed win against Boston College.
We will show you how the Irish rallied against the Wolfpack in the rematch of this year's series between Notre Dame and NC State right after this timeout. Confidence, teamwork, flow, also important to your offense. John Mooney, ineffective, only 8 minutes with the sprained ankle. That really hurt you against NC State.
Yeah, it did, Jack. I mean, we needed him out there. He's playing the best basketball of his career. He's on a roll. He's making shots. Him being injured and not being able to give us minutes. Matt Farrell not completely 100% playing his way back into a rhythm. And let's give credit to NC State. They defended us much better than they did here.
You fall behind 9-0 just 3 minutes into the game, so you go to Austin Torres, and Austin does what he usually does. He throws himself all over the floor, and he scores a couple of really spectacular over-the-head quick hoops that lets you cut their lead to 5 on 2 occasions.
Yeah, I think for Austin, you know, an energy guy, he came in, he kind of played with an edge. He's been doing that for us, but he gave us a little bit of hope in the first half.
Another difference between the first game and the second game with NC State, Markell Johnson didn't play in the first game.
Yeah, and he's really
good.
He's a really good guard, Jack. You know, he gets places on the floor. His assists to turnover is good. We had a hard time controlling him.
He had 6 assists in the first half. They had 8 fast break points, and NC State, bunch of competitors. You beat them by 30 in Purcell Pavilion, and they wanted to beat you by 30, and they got it up to 30, at which point your team kind of said, you know what, we may not win today, but we ain't losing by 30.
Yeah, I was proud that we finally found a little bit of a rhythm, and you're right, I think NC State wanted to pay us back, and they certainly did down there in Raleigh the other day. But I thought our group in the last 10 minutes, even though we had no chance of winning the game, a little bit of the offense that we saw against Boston College was starting to come to light in kind of, wasted minutes, the last 10 minutes of the game. We found a little bit of an offensive rhythm, especially Matt Farrell.
And part of it triggered by Rex Fluger, 5 assists in the second half, a career-high 7.
I think one of the things Rex is doing, he's understanding early in the game to go and get people shots. Get Matt Farrell a shot, get John Mooney a shot, get TJ Gibbs a shot, get Martin Gebbin a shot. And then when he gets the open look maybe later in the game, he knocks it down. I like how he's playing right now for us.
And you mentioned Matt Farrell. He hit 3 threes in a row at one point. I think I said on the radio, that's the Matt Farrell we know and love.
Yeah, and I think that gave him some confidence to carry over to the Boston College game. I don't think he's all the way back into game shape yet. I think he's close to 100% with that ankle, but he's only going to get better as he gets to full health.
It's tough on TJ when he plays a few games without Matt and has the ball all the time, and then Matt comes back. He struggled in the first half of the Louisville game, again the first half in this game, but he had 11 second-half points.
He did, and I thought the last 10 minutes, the two of them found a rhythm again, and we need them to both be good. I said the other day, we need to get 40 points out of those two guys, and I think we can do that.
You finish with an 11-1 run. I know you still lose big, but I think just the fact you were able to get back on the plane and feel a little bit good about yourself was critical at this point in the season.
And just a little bit better about our offense, just moving like we've moved and how we've built the offensive culture here.
So the Wolfpack does get a little revenge for Notre Dame's 30-point victory early in the season in Purcell Pavilion. They beat the Irish 76-58, but Notre Dame does bounce back against Boston College. We'll show you those highlights right after this.
Then bounces it out to Pfluger. Pfluger steps back for three and knocks it down. Rex Pfluger may have just locked the door.
You were finally able to practice for a few days with the same core group of players, and it really showed up at the beginning of the Boston College game.
Jack, we were able to get a feel for each other offensively again. Mooney healthy, Matt Farrell healthy, and again, when those guys are on the floor, along with TJ and Martin Gebbin and Rex, that's a pretty good lineup offensively. But you're right, we got the practice reps.
Not only did you show the old offense, you look like the Notre Dame of old, but I've never seen this before. 10 field goals, 10 assists.
I don't know with our best teams here that we've ever done that right out of the gate. It was kind of an offensive clinic as we got started, and that's, it was just so confidence building for all of our guys to get in a flow early in the game.
And you talk about TJ Gibbs and his leadership. Game's tied at 14. He hit 3 straight threes to give you a 9-point lead.
And he really jump-started us, Jack. The young man is having an all-league honors kind of year for us. He's done everything for us, but again, open shots for him. We want him to take them, and we got to get him open.
BC's scary because those 3 guards can light it up. You had a 12-point lead. They cut it down to 6. Time running out in the first half. And TJ, half court's too easy. He goes flying down the floor and throws in a 3-point runner at the buzzer.
That is an unbelievably difficult shot. There's so much skill involved in that. But again, he gives us great momentum at halftime to get that bucket right before the horn.
So you're up by 9 at halftime, and then you start the second half off great. Farrell and Mooney each hit threes, and you go up by 18.
Yeah, we're rolling offensively. We're feeling good. It's really looking like, 6 weeks ago almost, how we flowed offensively. But Boston College is going to come back, and they got this guy by the name of Robinson, who was unbelievable in our building.
You contained everybody but Jerome Robinson, 46 points, a Purcell Pavilion record, and he helped them cut it all the way down to a 2-point deficit.
Got it to 2, and I was so proud of the offensive possession when it was down to 2. We go to Martin, left-hand jump hook, biggest bucket of the game. Robinson kept a minute. We had no answers. We trapped. We changed matchups. But again, it was one of those games where we were going to have to outscore them. And that's what we've done a lot. This culture has outscored people when they're on a good run offensively, and we're able to get to 96 points, which is enough to get it.
And the great thing about it was a number of different guys had to hit big shots. You mentioned Martin's play. Farrell hits a couple of threes. Pfluger hit some big buckets, and he had 2 threes in the game, and you pull away at the end.
And that was good to see, because that's who we've been. A team makes a run on us, especially in our building. We've had big shot game pressure makers. Haven't seen it in a while, almost 6 weeks, but to see it the other night was really encouraging.
And you have 5 guys, the big 5 scorers right now, who are healthy. All 5 of them. John Mooney hit some big shots in the game too, scored in double figures, and you need that.
We need those 5 guys to get to double figures. There's no question about it. It was encouraging to see, and I hope we can build off it.
So the Irish break the 7-game losing streak in style with a 96-85 victory over Boston College. When we come back, we're going to chat with a guy who is probably the most improved player in the league, Martinus Gebbin. What a tremendous senior season big man Martinus Gebbin is having for the Fighting Irish. After helping lead Lithuania to the World University Games gold medal this summer, Gebbin returned to campus with a renewed confidence he immediately took to both the practice floor and the game floor this season. When Bonzie Colson's foot fracture was discovered after the league opener with Georgia Tech, Gebbin stepped in
and up to become one of the best big men in the Atlantic Coast Conference. In league play, he is averaging just under a double-double with 11.9 points and 9.5 rebounds per game. He ranks second in ACC play in offensive rebounds, fifth in total rebounds, has recorded 4 double-doubles, and his 17 rebounds against Louisville is the third highest total by any ACC player in any game this year. Recently, Gebben sat down with Inside Notre Dame Basketball to talk about his breakthrough season. Farrell inside to Gebben, who dunks it, and Notre Dame leads 11-7.
Energy guy, you know, he's always yelling, attacking the rim, dunking everything.
Back to Farrell. Farrell underneath to Gebben, who jams it home! 71-69.
Absolute animal on the backboard.
Gebben with the rebound, shovels it on out to Farrell. He fakes, fires the three, got it! That's a hustle three for the whole team.
I think I'm a physical player. I love contact. I love kind of unintentionally hurting people. You know, love dunking the ball. You know, love to get my teammates open and involved. I'm a team player, so I'm happiest when everybody wins.
Farrell gets it to Gebben inside for the two-handed jam. They've been running that play to perfection in the Irish.
I'm continuing to develop in my skill game. You know, your physicality can only take you so far. As you progress through your basketball career, at each level, the physicality is harder to stand out at. So my skills and my touch around the basket and further out is something that continues to develop, and I think will help me a lot in the future. I used to shoot a lot of threes in high school, and that was a part of my game, but I had to settle down into a little bit of a role once I came here, and throughout the past years at Notre Dame, we've had a lot of shooters out there on the perimeter, so there wasn't a need for me to shoot threes. I'm glad I was able to knock at least one down throughout my career here. My experience during the summer with my national student team helped me a lot. I was able to face a lot of great competition internationally. I performed well, so that gave me the confidence moving into the season that I'm able to compete against other high caliber players. Just got me excited about playing with my brothers here at Notre Dame and wearing a Notre Dame jersey. It's sad to realize that my days here in this program and on this campus are counted and limited, so I'll miss a lot of things, can't really point one thing out. Martinez Gebben, power forward.
In all your years of coaching, have you ever had a guy improve as much from one year to the next as Martinez Gebben has?
I don't think I have, Jack. I'm so proud of Martin Gebben. You know, he's always been a believer and a team guy. Not the most confident in his early years, but man, did he start this year off well. And then when we lost Bonzi, he knew we needed more, and he has flat out delivered. As you mentioned, I think a most improved candidate in our league.
For the second consecutive home game, TJ Gibbs hit a spectacular buzzer-beating three-point shot at the end of the first half of the Boston College game. A shot that has to be this week's Notre Dame Ticket Exchange, powered by Vivid Seats, Play of the Week. All right, Gibbs, top of the key. Gibbs, the runner, off the box and in! He did it again! TJ Gibbs! For the second consecutive home game, throws it in at the buzzer.
It's time now for the experts at TireRack.com. Question of the week for Coach Brey. And this week's question comes from Brandon Liss of South Bend, who's at every one of your radio shows. Coach, how is DJ Harvey doing in his recovery from his knee injury?
You know, we're stepping up his recovery and his exercise and his movement this week. We're hoping we can get him back in full practice Tuesday next week, and hopefully we'd have him available to play against Boston College. That's the goal.
It has been another very good and impactful week for graduate student Austin Torres. Against NC State and Boston College, Torres scored 13 points, grabbed 9 rebounds, and blocked a couple of shots, earning him the right to run this week's Inside Notre Dame Basketball Fast Break.
First car you ever drove?
Volkswagen Passat.
Who was your role model?
My grandfather.
One thing the public would be surprised to learn about you.
I like to cook.
Favorite part of practice?
The beginning.
Worst part of practice?
The end.
City or place in the world you would like to visit?
Barcelona.
Which is better, a highlight film dunk, blocking a key shot, or grabbing a big rebound?
Highlight dunk.
Maui.
Beautiful.
One thing you always hear from Coach Brey in practice?
Rebound.
Assistant coach who was most like Coach Brey.
Coach Bolanos.
Player on the team most like you.
Elijah Burns.
Toughest Notre Dame player to guard.
Bonds Colson.
Best defender on the team.
Rex.
Best leaper on the team.
Me.
Best dunker on the team.
Rex.
Worst dunker on the team.
Bonzi.
Best dresser on the team.
Bonzi.
Worst dresser on the team.
Bonzi.
Best singer on the team.
Me.
Worst singer on the team.
Rex.
Beard growing competition. Who wins? You or Coach Brey?
Me.
You brought Austin back for his energy and his leadership, but with all the injuries, that decision looks even better and better.
He has really saved us, Jack. I've been so impressed with his leadership and his poise. You know, he's been great, and then he comes off and does the dirty work for us, and he does it willingly. I love having him around. He's a mature guy. He's got a great sense of humor. I think he's going to be a heck of a coach someday.
That's interesting. Has he talked to you about that?
He has. We've talked about that a lot this year. And I told him, I said, I think you'd be great back at Penn High School. He's a little intrigued about that someday down the road. But we got to help him with his coaching career. I think he'd be excellent. I think he'd be a great recruiter. It's been neat having him around. I love his family. We've been friends for a long time. But a great story.
Certainly his practices will be energetic.
His practices will be juiced up. You're right about that. He is a piece of work, a great personality, and I'm so glad that we got him to stay home and give us 5 years here.
When we come back, we'll take a look at Notre Dame's second of 3 Saturday, Monday turnarounds involving travel of the ACC season. A high-scoring Florida State team comes to town on Saturday. That would be a big win for your program.
Huge. We've talked about trying to get to 2-1 on the back 9 of league play, to have a 2-game win streak and a homestand, I think would give us even more confidence. They are really gifted offensively, scoring the ball, even shooting it better than maybe Florida State teams that we've seen in the past. So we're going to have to defend, we're going to have to rebound, but Jack, we've got to find that offensive rhythm again that we had against BC.
And then Sunday, you fly back to Carolina for a rematch with the Tar Heels.
Well, maybe we can pay them back, because gosh, that was one that got away here, but they certainly are playing very well. Great win over Duke the other night, and it's always a tough place to play, but we've won there before.
So the Irish have some momentum as they head into this weekend's home game with Florida State, and Coach and I will be back next week to break down all the highlights of the games with the Seminoles and the Tar Heels. Until then, for Coach Brey, I'm Jack Nolan. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Irish.
Inside Notre Dame Basketball is presented by TireRack.com and brought to you by Team Notre Dame partners Coca-Cola, Under Armour, and Gatorade. Inside Notre Dame Basketball is also brought to you by Bank of America, the official bank of Notre Dame Athletics, Vivid Seats, Canon, Xfinity, Delta Airlines, proud to be the official airline of Notre Dame Athletics, Nissan, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, and SiriusXM.